Good afternoon from Ubud, Bali, Indonesia, where wellness seekers, expats, and tourists alike act like they have their lives together. I'm going to take a walk and head west towards the water temple. I'm taking you down the bustling metropolis of Ubud during the high season. Welcome to the center of over-tourism, thanks to digital nomads like myself. I've spent just over a week here, mostly in Ubud. I have traveled around Bali on a motorbike to see the more rural parts and the mountains. But I've also experienced much more busyness than this in areas like Canggu and surrounding. Denpasar and Kuta are also much more densely populated than this. Today, the current population in Bali is 4.5 million, and 80% of their GDP derives just from tourism. Take a couple thousand steps with me as we experience Ubud on a typical Monday afternoon. This happens to be the last day of June 2025. Nice. Whew. Last week, these incense were a lot stronger. My tolerance is increasing daily. I've had a chance to try a lot of the different foods here, and it's pretty good. It's not the same value you might get in countries like Vietnam or Thailand. However, again, this is a tourist area, and honestly, most of Bali is. So you should expect slightly higher prices here. I just paid over $3 for a latte right before starting this walk. So I am caffeinated up and ready to rumble. This is your average Ubud cafe. Every smoothie costs more than a Balinese family dinner, and yes, you will pay extra for the oat milk. These alleys are full of life, with many restaurants and cafes, and of course yoga studios. There are many shops selling jewelry, handmade items. The markets are abundant. You can find just about anything. You can buy knockoff Ray-Bans, a wooded penis bottle opener, and get guilted into buying a sarong by a grandma with psychic powers. But at least you'll get their special price. Thank you. My suggestion is to bring cash for this trip. ATM skimming is a common practice, even here in Ubud. Sometimes I've read that it's more common than a Bangkok taxi driver overcharging you for a fare. On that note, I would suggest recording currency transactions. Another common scam that Bali is known for are folks skimming a few bills off of a currency transaction. Fortunately, so far, I have not experienced this because I record all my currency transactions, and I would advise you to record the serial numbers on the back of the bills as well. Here we are coming up on the water temple, where for about $10 you can witness a traditional Balinese dance. That pamphlet said Lagong dance. Hello, sir. I had a conversation with that gentleman the other day, and he was telling me about how much Ubud has changed in the last 20 years. The population of Bali was only 3 million in the year 2000, and here we are 25 years later, and it's increased to 4.5 million, and going up by the day. So I could continue down this way, and there are many cafes and shops. I'm going to give you a peek at this traffic. This video probably doesn't do it justice, but these cars are literally lined up for miles up this hill to get into the center of Ubud. The weather here in Ubud is nearly perfect, especially this time of year, with light rain, highs in the low 80s and lows in the low 70s. So you don't need to take a car, hop on a Grab motorbike or a Gojek motorbike. and zip around town that way. Of course, if you want to see the entire island, you can rent one for about $7 a day. I think some of these tourists believe linens will give them a Kundalini awakening. So, you know, if you ever want to do yoga next to a screaming espresso machine while someone sells you a dragon fruit detox, congratulations, you are in the right place. So what I just did was head west towards the water temple, and then I made a left. So I'm heading due south now towards the monkey forest. These monkeys are fierce. If you've happened to watch one or two of my shorts or videos on the monkey forest, they certainly rule the neighborhood. As someone who has traveled to most countries in Southeast and East Asia, this is certainly unique. I can't say I'm shocked. However, the prices are a little bit higher than I expect. But you know what? The vibe is really good. The local people are super friendly. And even in the midst of all this traffic, everyone seems to keep their cool. Walking into the depths of the monkey forest. The monkeys in Ubud are so smart. One took my cell phone, started swiping, and now he has more subscribers than me on YouTube. I like Bali. I mean, if this is your first foreign country, maybe you would be a little bit shocked. But again, I've been around Southeast Asia. I mean, it's okay. The visa entry was easy. It did cost about $40. But I like to just roll in, and if they let me in, they let me in. And as a Westerner, it's pretty easy. Although, although the US passport is getting slightly weaker, most countries here in Southeast Asia, and most countries around the world for that matter, will allow you in with the visa on arrival, which means you can just show up and typically you get in for free, but some countries do charge you a small fee. Vietnam is the only country I have ever been to where it is advised to apply ahead of time. You actually don't even need to do that. If for some reason you show up and you don't have a visa, which is just a simple visa approval letter, then you'll pay a higher fee and they'll still let you in. Next time I go to Vietnam, I'm going to do it on a 90-day tourist visa, apply through a different agency, and I should only pay about $30 for that visa. Whereas I was in a hurry and I did it with 2 business day notice, and it cost me about $100. So I appreciate everyone watching. I just wanted to take you through Ubud. Act a little bit lighthearted on the place. Again, it's a nice spot, but unless you're coming here for a specific reason, like some sort of spiritual retreat, I don't really see why a solo traveler would want to come here more than once. Of course, Indonesia, like most Asian countries, are extremely safe. And I've noticed many families here. There's very few hecklers. You just have to be smart about things. I think one of the biggest things you should look out for are those ATM skimmers. Don't use an ATM that isn't inside of a bank, that isn't branded. Hey, we got a couple guys swinging from the vines, just playing around. I did use the ATM twice, and I went to the same bank. And I actually found a bank after multiple attempts. So hopefully my card isn't bad, but I do have some locks on it and some security measures that should protect me. Also, if this is your first foreign country, if you're not aware, this does occur often in Thailand. I've seen it a few times in the Philippines and now Indonesia. It seems to occur everywhere. That they ask you if you want to convert the currency on the spot. Always say, proceed with transaction with no currency conversion. I cannot stress that enough. Your bank is never charging you a higher rate than these banks here. One more thing to watch out for, since I'm talking about safety, is the men on the side of the roads welding and grinding metal. I have noticed that all throughout Southeast Asia. There's really no regard for construction safety out here. So you don't want to be near those welding sparks, and you don't want to look directly at the light. And also, if there's a construction zone, oftentimes it will not be cordoned off. So he might just be grinding metal, and those shards are going to be flying up in your face at 100 miles an hour. Hello, sir. This is close to the entrance of the monkey forest. You can actually walk down here and just make a complete circle back to the same area that I started this video. And this is really just one part of Ubud. The monkeys want what you have. They are smart little guys, or big guys in some cases. They say don't feed the monkeys, which that one I sort of knew. But you also don't want to do it. You also don't want to look them in the eye or really make any advances towards them because they are unpredictable. Just be smart about it. I appreciate everyone watching. I'm less than 100 subs away from 1,000 subscribers. So I really just wanted to show you what Ubud's all about and the type of tourists here, type of infrastructure, traffic, and what you will expect. Again, this is just a typical Monday afternoon. Here's some bonus content for you. Markets everywhere. Now, I suppose if you're a tourist that's just here for a couple weeks, and then you have to go back to your wage job and work another 50 weeks before you have a vacation, you'd want to bring a few trinkets back. However, I don't really understand who's buying some of this stuff. I do like practical clothing and goods that have some sort of utility. I purchased this gimbal yesterday for $7, and so far it's working pretty good. So again, appreciate it. I don't always ask, but like and subscribe. I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers because that's going to change the game. And after 1,000 subs, I'll go 30 days, check out my advertising revenue, and I'll post a very informative video and disclose exactly what YouTube is going to pay me. Typically, I would expect to get about $5 for every 1,000 views, but I don't know. We'll see see who my viewers are and what to expect. So, from Bali, Indonesia. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Thanks for watching, and enjoy yourselves. Take care now.